What is good, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to another episode. I hope you guys are doing great today, this week. I hope you guys have been doing great, hitting your goals, thinking about your life, thinking about your purpose. And if you're not doing any of that, that's also fine. Chill, relax. I did swear in the first minute. It hasn't even been a minute. In the first 20 seconds, I already said a swear word. Well, I know that the algorithm's not going to hit this one. Yay. I'll probably bleep that out. But today, I kind of wanted to do what I did last time, where we had a set of guest episodes, about 6 of them things, and I wanted to recap them and kind of think back on them, kind of see like, what did I get from each one, or what were some of the most important lessons that I gleaned from each conversation, and you and I can both kind of recap on them, and maybe it'll inspire you a little bit to go listen to the other ones, maybe that you missed, etc. So let's just get started, okay? Let's just get started. The first one was the podcast with Zenith, my boy Jason. I've known Zenith for a minute, and when we do have like conversations about life, about hobbies, about not non-dance things, just kind of our own thoughts and our own feelings and stuff, we have some great conversations. We have some great conversations. And then we will go into Discord and banter the fuck as much as we can. That's just what we do. And one of the things that I really liked about the podcast and about our conversation was kind of him reminding me that like our hobbies are supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, there's really no reason to do it. But at the same time, it's always there for you to do if you want to. You can always stop something that you're not enjoying and then come back to it when you want to enjoy it again or when you feel like doing it again, right? You don't have to continue doing it. And we obviously talked about dance in the podcast. We're both dancers. He's been training for a long while. I left the dance scene years ago, just because I just wasn't me. Wasn't doing it. Dance wasn't doing it for me the same way. I didn't want to train. I wasn't battling whatever it is, and I feel like I was getting out of it what I wanted. So what we talked about, right? Like I always wonder, should I have stopped? I feel better having stopped dancing and only do dancing when I want to versus feeling like, oh, I have to go train or I have to go practice or I have to go do all this stuff. I have to continue dancing because my friends are doing it. And once I just stopped doing it, I was like, it doesn't really matter because I will do it when I want to do it. And now dancing is more fun because I do it when I want to do it. Now, has that rusted my skills that I had? 100%. 100%. But at the same time, those skills are not to be used for any sort of competition that I need high level skill for. Like those skills are only to be used when I want to go hang out with friends and dance with them in a situation where it does not matter that I'm not as skilled as I was before, that I'm rusty, whatever it is, right? I can still throw down. Okay. I can still throw back. Pause. Okay. I can still get down. Okay. I can juke my way out of a cipher, into a cipher, out of a cipher. I can wave my way across a floor. I can glide like the best of them. Not really, not the best of them. I can glide with the most average of them right now. But I just enjoy the conversation because it did once again remind me like, hey, the decision you made wasn't the wrong one. You made a good decision for yourself. Stop what you don't enjoy and pick it back up whenever you want to. It's there for you whenever you want to, whenever you want it, right? You don't have to keep doing something that you don't want to do. Does that make sense? So I enjoyed that conversation with Zenith. I also enjoyed him talking about, as much emphasis as he puts on dance right now, it's not necessarily like I asked him the question: if money wasn't if money wasn't an issue, what would he be doing for the rest of his life? What would he love doing day in and day out? And he said actually he would love to be a writer. Not even like when it was an option, I would dance and travel the world. He was like, I would love to write, because he enjoys doing that. And I forget that Jason loves to write. He loves to. He's a wordsmith. He loves to craft words and craft sentences and craft stories, and that got me really interested as a reader, as a reviewer, to read his stuff one day. but also was like, yeah, like I know I spend a lot of time dancing right now. All the clips I post online are dancing and stuff, but I have these other sides of me that I really enjoy that maybe other people don't know. And that's awesome. I want more people to do things that aren't like what they're known for. You know what I mean? I love that. I love seeing that from people. I really do. Um, and not just like, oh, I do this and then I work out, bro. Fuck. Having more interesting hobbies. Do something more interesting. If you were into pottery, fucking dope. Embroidery, love that shit. Stitching, bro, bro, knit me something right now. Like, pick up some interesting ass hobbies that aren't just, well, I go on this run club every week. Bitch, do something with your life. Do something more fun than that. Do that because it's important for your health and your mental and your well being. Do something fun. That's not fucking training and doing Ironmans and shit like that. I jest, but you get the idea. So the next one after that was my boy Ramon Grande, and he has his own photography business, and he's doing his thing. He's traveling, and he's enjoying the world as he is. I have never talked to Ramon before that call. I've exchanged a few words with him, like online and things like that, maybe in person. I've never talked to him ever in my life. This was the first time where I actually asked somebody who I haven't really had conversations with, like, would you mind chatting with me on my podcast, please? I'm interested just to get to know this person. And he said, yeah. And what, and we talked about like simple things. I asked him about kind of his background, how he got into dance and photography, his like photography tips, his just things that he's interested in life, like just a chill conversation, right? But what I got out of that was the fact that I can continue to do these things. I can continue to ask people that I don't necessarily know to have a conversation with me. And I can be okay like asking these questions. You know, a part of me sometimes gets really, what's the opposite of confident? Unconfident. I get very unconfident in approaching people in case they're like, well, I don't know you. I don't really want to talk to you. And that's fine. That's people in general, right? But I feel like I can have a little bit more confidence in approaching people and asking them, hey, I'm interested in chatting with you. Would you mind, you know, talking to me on my podcast about XYZ topics that I'm interested in seeing that you do? Um, even if I don't know them beforehand. Even if I don't know them beforehand. I think that's like one of the big powers of the podcast is helping me with that confidence and doing the thing. And I can have genuine conversations with people. Like the conversation with like Ramon didn't feel fake, not to me at least. I don't think he felt it was fake either. It was very genuine people, two dudes just like chatting and asking each other questions, etc. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot, and I want to do more of that. And it gave me the example or the test or what's the word for it, the proof of concept that I can continue to do that at a smaller scale now, and then I can scale it up as I can gain traction in this thing. You know what I mean? All right, next one. My brother Vinay Meta Movement. My boy, I'm really proud of him because he's been really trying to do his thing, do his own thing. For the past few years, he's gotten more into the dance scene, more into popping, more into like wanting to hone his craft, but also contributing to the scene in his own way, which we've seen a lot of other people do as well. But his own way is physical therapy and sharing his knowledge and his career and his work and the thing he's interested in that isn't dance with dancers and with movement creatives and movement specialists and athletes and other things like that, right? Like I really appreciated our conversation, and I loved how technical it was because I do love speaking technical. I love nerding out on shit and getting into the nitty gritty of that shit. I really do enjoy that. So I enjoyed his podcast. It's funny because The day that I was recording it with him, I didn't feel like working out, didn't feel like being active. That was one of the days where my amygdala was fucking firing off at me and I hated it. And I couldn't get it to shut up. Um, but I still did the podcast call. And afterwards, I was like, bro, I want to go fucking work out. I want to go get active. I'm ready. I want to do this. And um, when I was editing it, completely different day, I had the exact same feeling. After listening to the podcast, I was like, bro, I want to get out. I want to get active. I want to start moving again. I want to do this shit. Currently can't with my shoulder, but I want to, and it makes me feel motivated and pumped to go do it just by listening to the conversations that we had. And I love the power in that. He did emphasize mobility a big time in there. He we talked about Indian clubs there, right? And I'll show you guys. I got a set of Indian clubs and I love them. These are 3-pound Indian clubs. Um, Really simple to use. I use them for like stabilization, or you can move with them for stabilization, or you can use static holds with them just to like practice things, like practice and or strengthen joints, muscles, etc. Whatever it is, right? You can do like the usual shoulder thing that people do. You can do that. You can reverse it as well. It's really fun. I'm only doing it with a shoulder that isn't messed up because my other shoulder is messed up. But I love these things, and I'm so mad that I got these things and now I can't use them because of my shoulder. But I love playing with these. It's really fun. I would highly recommend it. He recommended it to me. I did get it. I did enjoy it, and I would highly recommend just like trying it out. Like if your gym has some, try them out. They're so fun. They're just they're so fun to use, and I can't use it sitting down, but you can just play with it. Like look at this. I can play with this shit. I can like keep it in one place and try to move my like arms around it and everything like that. I can just lance you at it. I can fence with it and stuff, all with one arm. And now my forearm is burning. Got to work at it, and I got a podcast in. That's what we call efficiency and productivity. So yeah, I really enjoyed Vinny's podcast. The emphasis on mobility, the tips that we can do there. I tried out the ultimate exercise, the ultimate stretch. That shit felt great. I will post a clip of it later on the Instagram when I do edit his clip. Excuse that loud sound. My fidget thing had fallen, which is basically a lens cap, because I have realized I'm an aggressive fidgeter, and when I would really like to like focus in on something, I like to fidget with something in my hand because it helps me like focus. It's weird. It's like having a totem to channel your like excess energy so you can focus the energy that you want to on the thing that you're doing. I don't know what it is. I also need to start looking at the camera more. I realize I've been a little bit lax on looking at the camera and looking around, and I apologize for that. I want to give you my full divided attention. Do you like this eye contact? Hope you do like this eye contact. This eye contact is for you. It's for you. You and me, we're looking at each other right now. Unless this is on audio only, and then you're not looking at the video, and that's fine. But just know through your ears that I'm looking at you. Now let's get back to the actual topic of this podcast. Let's talk about Major's podcast, bro. That shit was fire. Okay, 2.5 hours of me and my guy off the cuff, just spitting bars, spitting concepts, spitting facts. I love that shit so much. My favorite thing about it was just he sounds like all the other gurus online in terms of like what he says sometimes, which isn't a bad thing. It makes me think like it makes me think that his head's in the right space, his focus is in the right space. But he sounds like all the other like gurus online saying three steps to do this, 3 ways to do this, 5 ways to do this. If you're stuck here, watch this, etc. Right? Um, but I love listening to what he has to say. I really do. I love his thoughts. Zach's notes is one of my favorite things to come out of that podcast. That shit is so good. But we talked about a lot of things, right? We talked about building skills, right? Doing things that you're interested in, because in some way, form, or fashion, those interests or partaking in those interests are building skills for you. You are building skills in partaking in those things. So do as many things as you're interested in and build as many skills as possible. Okay. Skills are your currency. Close the feedback loop, right? He said there's a 3-step process to getting better at anything. It's do the thing, document the process and the results, and then analyze the results to see whether you got what you wanted or you didn't get what you wanted. You didn't get what you wanted, do the thing over again. Do it, document it, analyze it. And the way to get better is to do that 3-step process over and over and over again. And if you're not seeing results fast enough, close the loop. So I'll give you an example by what I mean by close the loop. Basically, I record once a week for something. I'm only turning my camera on once a week. That means every week, only one time am I messing with like the settings and the lighting and the angles and all that stuff. And I'm only scripting once a week and I'm only editing once a week, right? So if any issues come out of the recording or the editing or the scripting and stuff, I'm not really fixing it until the next week. There's a week gap in between the two, but I want to fix it. So I have to close the feedback loop, meaning I have to do things more frequently. Instead of recording once a week, I have to record twice a week or 3 times a week or every day or whatever it is, right? Just to close the loop and figure out, okay, where am I going wrong? How can I fix this? Etc. So I really do love that idea. It can be applied to literally anything. Literally anything it can be applied to. So I do love that idea. So I loved Major's podcast for that. He did try to convince me that, I have this tendency to want to do everything solo first before I try and collaborate with people. And I'm trying to get out of that mind space, trying to break out of that shell. But it's proving to be a little bit difficult to change the way I'm thinking about it, but I am doing it. I'm trying to collaborate. I'm trying to offload things from me, and I'm trying to think like who would I want to help on this, etc. Right? I've done it alone enough to know what I want and how it should work. So who do I want to do it with me or for me or whatever it is? So I'm working on that actually. I'm working on that. I told him I was going to, and I am. And on some things I have done that. On some things I'm still working on doing that. But once again, I love Zach. He's a great guy. Great creative, has all these interesting thoughts. And I really, really want to do whatever I can to support him so that he can succeed. I'm still going to put my $5 where I am for right now. But just know, if I had an excess $5, I'll put it towards him. I would. The next one was the podcast with Trent, my boy King Siler. King Siler is an interesting dude. He has been there since he was there at the very first dance session I ever went to in college that I was invited to. First one ever. So I've known him since I literally started dancing in the scene. Obviously, man has ups and downs. I've had ups and downs. We still stayed friends at the times. I definitely look to him for not even just advice, but as a peer to like bounce ideas off of, as somebody who I can go to and like, I know that he's not going to bullshit me. I know that he's not going to like save my feelings, etc. He'd probably tell me how it is. And having him as a peer, I just think that, he's a great person. And I really enjoyed our podcast, even though it was in a fucking car. I gotta get these guys to get out of their fucking cars, bro. Like, y'all gotta get out of your cars. If the timing isn't right, the timing isn't right. Get out of your fucking cars, bro. Help me. But the thing that I got from his, and it's obviously one that I've struggled on. I've been forced to comply with is the idea of not being able to balance it all, right? You can't do things for your family and for yourself and for others all at once. Sometimes you have to prioritize. And he talked about having to prioritize himself and having to like be there for, and having to take care of himself and having to take the time to do things for himself before or in front of doing things for family or friends, because if he's not taking care of himself, he can't take care of others. And I've always loved that idea. I do try and instill it in myself and try to live by it. Of like, if I'm not taking care of myself, I cannot then in turn take care of others, or I must take care of myself in order to take care of others. That's a better way to put it. And then he talked a lot about integrity in that call. He talked a lot about integrity in that call. He said that is the most important thing to him, because as long as he's moving with integrity, making decisions with integrity, that he can feel confident, like he's doing what he needs to be doing. And I appreciate that. Integrity is a very important one for sure. It was really funny. We're gonna talk about therapy. Let's talk about therapy. Recently my therapist has been trying to get me to like understand the idea of core values and things like that, right? And so we did this exercise where she gave me an entire list of values and said, highlight 20 of them. So I highlighted 20 of them. And she said, did any of them surprise you? I said, yes, some of these surprised me. We'll leave the details for a different time. She said, okay, why? I explained why. She said, okay, cool. Now shrink that down to 10. I was like, fuck, 10? I had to think about like, when it comes to values, sometimes you just like think that something is a value of yours. And then when you're actually asked, like, no, is this an actual value of yours? Like, make a decision between one and two. What would you value more? Something that affects you right now, or something that you're trying to affect you in the future? And so I saw like a lot of my values were centered around who I am right now as a person, as opposed to who I want to be as a person. Because if I'm really being honest, they're like majority of the time I'm pretty short sighted. I really want to take care of what I can take care of right now, hoping that I take care of enough right now things to then let me take care of things that are going to be coming in the future. And so a lot of my values are centered around things that affected me right now, or things that affect my actions and behaviors right now, or who I am as a person right now versus who I'm trying to be in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, etc. Because values change, right? Values inherently change. And so it was just an interesting exercise. And then she asked me, okay, now pick your top 5. I was like, bitch, the fuck do you mean pick my top 5? That was a difficult one. I was very surprised. I still think to myself, did I lie to myself? Or are these actually my values? And I simply am just not behaving in a way that, or behaving according to these values daily. And that's why it surprises me that I think these are my values, but I'm not behaving according to these values. That was very interesting to me. Yeah, that was therapy time for you guys. Let's go. So that was like the podcast from Trent. Really enjoyed that one. And the last one that we just uploaded was Tsoup. My boy Taj Tsoup Campbell. What can I say about Tsoup? Tsoup is, I've admired Tsoup for a long time because I feel like he does everything that I like to do, but better. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that in like a terms of like I look up to this person. When I enter the scene, brother is taller than me, but he is getting levels like crazy than I am. Brother has grooves in hip hop down. I was stiff as a board. I still am stiff in many cases. His his artwork, his icon, his brand. He's still making moves in terms of getting doing booths and getting tables at these events, and still trying to like push it and promote it when he can. And I just really respect the dude for continuing the grind. And I just want to continue doing those things with him. And, we talked on our podcast, another 2 hour plus podcast, like what the fuck. But I remember talking to him about like, interestingly enough, the things that the things that I dove into, the interest that I had, podcasting, Fableware, books were my own interest, but the video creation was not, and YouTube and stuff like that was not necessarily my own at the beginning. It was like I saw friends who did it, and I was like, I wonder what it's like doing that. Like, what is it like being in front and behind the camera in the editing booth? What is it like making a brand? What is it like with getting the artwork done, putting it on the t-shirts? What is it like taking pictures, mock-ups, getting the listings up, the technical side of it? What is it like with the technical side and um, the quote unquote fun side? What is it like? And it was also because my friends were doing it that I was interested in it, because I want to know, like, what is it like for them? Maybe I can make this another point of connection between me and this person that's not just dance, right? I think about all these things a lot. Like, what can I do to increase connection between me and those people around me, on top of the connection that I already have with them? Um, and so that was a great time having, like, conversing with Tsoup. But the takeaway that I got from that was the thing that we talked about towards the end of it, when I had the realization that I'm afraid to take on more things. I'm afraid to open certain boxes, read certain books, do certain things, because I'm afraid of working harder than I already am and not seeing the results, or not seeing any result, or not feeling like I'm getting anything out of it. I'm afraid of working too hard, because I've worked hard before, but I haven't worked hard for a long time yet. My work hard has been in the form of like a 2-3 year season. I haven't worked hard for 5 years at a time, 7 years at a time, 10 years at a time. I'm currently in my fourth or fifth year of working hard, and I'm learning a lot of things. And I'm still have to remind myself, like, you still have gas in the tank, you still have work to give, you still have hard work to give, and you're still able to work harder. And as long as you work hard, you can be happy with what you're doing. If you're not working hard, don't get to complain. You don't get to complain if you're not working hard enough. That's just my philosophy on it. Like, if I'm not working hard towards the goals, I don't get to complain about non-existent results. Similarly, I need to stop complaining about working hard and just fucking do the thing. Don't worry about how hard it is that I'm working, or if I'm working hard enough. Just keep doing the thing, and eventually you will look back and think, wow, that was a lot of hard work, and I got to where I wanted, and I'm happy. You know? So that's what I got out of Tsoup's conversation. Really enjoyed that one too. And let me know, you guys. I asked this on the last one, but I'll ask it on this one again. If you would still prefer like bulk batched, like guest episodes in a row, and then these recapping solo episodes at the end of like the quote unquote seasons, or if you would like to disperse or intersperse solo episodes inside the guest ones, if you would like a little break in between, let me know. I'm always down. I have things to chat about, things to talk about. The next one, the next thing that the next fuck words, the next thing that I want to talk about is actually really interesting, and I really want to talk about it. And I'm hoping by the next time also that I can convince my therapist to let me watch podcasts again. Because I kid you not, she lets me open up my self improvement back again, and I am opening the fucking floodgates, absorbing all of the podcasts that I missed in the past month and a half. I kid you not. I'm going down that list of Chris Williamson episodes, and you can't stop me. I'm going down that list of Mike Israel episodes, and you cannot stop me. No one can stop me from doing that shit. But that being said, I hope you guys had a good time listening. This is a shorter one, a brief one, but I think it's okay. Give you guys a little break before the next one. Let me know if you guys liked the guest episodes, like what insights you guys got for them, if you got any from them. And do me a favor, if you can, send this to somebody who you think would enjoy the podcast. I would appreciate it. Just word of mouth is the best thing for me right now. And so that's the best way for me to get this to more ears, more eyes. And hopefully we can grow something here. We can build something here. We can all find our end goal together. Oh my God, I haven't dropped the name in such a long time. I haven't name dropped in such a long time. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Look out for the next episode. Take it easy. Keep working on your goals. And hit me up if you need anything. Peace.